Hello and welcome. You know what? Prospects don't become clients simply because they saw your work on a social media post. They hire you because they felt something when they saw that post on social media. In this lesson today, we're talking about how to design posts that make that happen. Hey there, Lens Legends. Welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show, where we focus on the business side of photography, the real business challenges that photographers face every single day. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side, and it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. If you're new here, let me tell you what this is all about. This is where we cut through the noise and get straight to what actually builds a sustainable, profitable photography business. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales. That reduces the struggles that most photographers face so that you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her amazing, wonderful team are going to make you look like a hero just by default. Amanda hires fantastic people. If you were to go right now, well, it's Labor Day right now, so they're probably not working today, but maybe they are. I don't know. But if you were to go on any regular working day and just see how they work, you'll notice these are wonderful top level people. And because of that, because they love what they do, the folks at Digital Pro Lab are going to make you look like a hero to your clients. Yeah. They're going to make you look like a hero just by default. I encourage you, go to digitalprolab.com. I'll put it up on the screen so that you can see it, digitalprolab.com, and see the difference that Digital Pro Lab can make for you. And of course, let's see. I'm getting a message on my screen that one of the places we're simulcasting to is having some difficulty. Well, kind of happens sometimes. I'll hit reconnect and see if that makes a difference. We'll find out. So digitalprolab.com. And this is also sponsored by Landers Photography School. But that's me. Landers Photography School teaches both the photography side and the business of photography, which is the main place where photographers have difficulty. There's a lot of fantastic photographers out there, but there's a lot of fantastic photographers who are struggling. If you're struggling, it just means you need some areas that have that need some improvement. It doesn't mean you're not a good photographer. You probably are fantastic. We all have room to grow. But if you're struggling on the business side, there's some things that we can do, and I can help identify them and help you fix them. So stop the struggle. If you've been struggling for months or years, some of you have been struggling for years, maybe even 10 or 20 years. If that's the case, stop the struggle. You don't have to be there. You can start off with me with just a free lesson to help get you in the right direction. So I encourage you to take advantage of the address that I've put on the screen right now. Take a moment, write it down, do a screenshot of it. But I'll tell you what it is for those of you who are driving. It's Calendly.com. You've probably gone to Calendly.com before. Calendly.com/photo school /15MIN, because I'm going to give you 15 minutes of my time for free just to help you out. We can ask questions. We can talk you through whatever it is that you need help right now. Calendly.com /photo school /15MIN. And that's for any photography or photography business related question. Now, I encourage you to, throughout today's lesson, to make comments and to ask questions in the comments section throughout this discussion. I want you to go to the comments section right now and enter in hashtag live, hashtag live. That tells me that you're watching right now live on either Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn. We're simulcast to several different places. For those of you that are watching the replay, please enter in hashtag replay. I also request that you share the Portrait Profit Show. That's how other people find out about it. That's probably how you found out about it. Someone shared it with you. So that's all I ask. I don't charge anything for this, except that you click the share button. That's how you pay for the show, letting other people know that it exists. You know that some posts just kind of stop your scroll while others slide by really unnoticed. Flashy posts might catch your eye for a second, but what really matters is how your content makes people feel. In the first half of this lesson, episode number 231, titled Silent Posts, we uncovered why posts sometimes go quiet and what's really happening behind the scenes when engagement is low. We learned that silence isn't failure, but a signal for improvement. And when you know how to read those signals, you can realign your message so it has a better chance of being seen. But getting seen is only part of the story, because visibility alone, well, that doesn't build a client business. Clients don't book you because they happen to scroll past your work. They book because your work and your words made them feel something. I've talked to photographers who told me I got likes, but no inquiries. People always say they loved my work, but they aren't booking a session. So the missing piece isn't the quality of their images alone, because people said they loved them. So it's that their posts are not being felt. That's what today's lesson is all about. We're moving from attention to connection, from being noticed to being remembered, from posts that feel or posts that are just filling the feed to posts that are starting conversations. This is part 2 of the series, and we're talking about getting seen, social posts that clients feel. We're going to uncover what makes a post truly felt and how those posts turn casual followers into loyal clients. Now, you probably know that we do the Portrait Profit Show every single Monday, and you probably are aware that I have a handout available for every single one of these shows. So I encourage you to request the handout. Now, I send it out manually, and so I'll hand it out. I'll send it out to you afterwards, but all you do is go to the comments and enter in hashtag handout. That's it. Enter in hashtag handout. And that will trigger me to know that you want the handout. Now, I'm going to send it to you via direct message or email, or however you want me to send it. If you don't tell me how I'm going to direct message it, if you'd prefer that I send it to your email, well, then include that information. But what I'm going to do, it's $10, but I send it out to you without any charge up front. And if you find value in the handout, great, send me $10. If you don't find value in the handout, great, you haven't spent any money. That's the deal. Yeah, that's an upfront. You have to find value in it. And if you do, that then and only then do you send me that money. So that's how I do that part. So again, enter in hashtag handout, and that will tell me that you want the handout sent to you. Hashtag handout. By the way, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're watching the show live right now. And click that share button, letting other people know about it. All right, chapter 1. This is going from attention to connection. Getting attention, well, that can feel hard, especially when you've put a lot of effort into posting consistently and you're still not seeing any tiny fraction of the response that you hoped for, because that's frustrating. But here's the part that doesn't often get neglected. It does often get neglected, even if you get a lot of attention, because the attention doesn't guarantee sales. Attention alone doesn't build a photography business. Clients don't book you because they noticed your post. They book you because something about your work or your words made them feel something. Think about it this way. Attention is someone glancing at your work. Good thing, doesn't cause much. Connection, though, is someone taking action, remembering it, and remembering you. Attention's the spark. Connection, well, that's the fire. That's why a post gets 100 likes or more, but may still bring in 0 inquiries. And while another post gets just 5 comments, but it brings in 2 bookings, the difference isn't the size of the audience, it's the depth of the connection. And that part's up to you. As a portrait photographer, your work is already about emotion, meaning, memory. The job of your posts is to let those qualities shine through. So your clients don't just see what you do, they feel why it should matter to them. I want you to remember one simple guiding principle. Every post you make should serve one of 2 purposes. Number 1, to be seen, or number 2, to be felt. And if you want clients, it's the second one, to be felt, that matters most. So now that we know attention isn't enough, the question becomes, how do we move forward from being noticed to being remembered? That's where storytelling comes in, and that's what we'll cover next. Make sure to hit that like button when you hear something you like, or that love button when you hear something that you like. I react to that. I like that. I want to know that you're enjoying this and there's something about it that is benefiting you. Are you feeling this? Well, go to the comment section. Give me a yes in the comment section. Let me know that you're hearing this, that you're feeling this, that you want more of what I'm sharing. And of course, if you want today's handout, make sure to enter in hashtag handout into the comment section. Hashtag handout. Chapter 2. If attention is the spark and connection is the fire, well, storytelling is the fuel. Stories are what make people pause, lean in, and remember. They turn a simple image into an experience they can feel and relate to. And that's what your clients are going to connect with. You know that stories work, but let's talk about why stories work. A story creates emotion, while facts are forgotten. Feelings linger. A story makes your work relatable. Clients can imagine themselves in that moment themselves. A story communicates value without selling. Instead of saying, you need portraits, you show why the portraits matter. Let's go from announcement to story in your posts. Announcement to story. An announcement post. Mini sessions available this Saturday. It's good. Tells what exactly it is that you're doing, when you're doing it. Message me to book. Tells you the action you want to take. So an announcement post. Many sessions available this Saturday. Message me to book. How about a story post. Sarah told me she hadn't had a portrait with her kids in a while. When she saw the photograph of her family together, she teared up. That's why I'm opening mini sessions again this Saturday, because moms like Sarah deserve photographs with their kids. The second post makes people feel the photograph. I want your post to make your ideal client feel it, not just be told it. Let's talk about where stories come from. I mean, you've already got stories. They're coming from client experiences, their first sessions, their reactions, their milestones. It could be from behind the scenes moments, the toddler meltdown that turned into one of mom and dad's favorite images. Maybe your own thoughts, your own perspective, why you photograph, what you've learned, how you see people differently now. We want to keep those stories, though, short and impactful, because the story doesn't have to be long. In fact, shorter often works better, especially on social channels. It could be one client quote, one sincere or maybe funny reaction. It could also be a lesson learned. That's all it takes to make your post feel alive. I want you to think about this quick test from seen to felt. Before you hit publish, I want you to ask this question, have this thought cross your mind. Does this post make me smile? Does it make me nod? Does it make me feel something? Will my client see themselves in this post? Am I showing the experience or just making an announcement? By the way, there's times when you do just want to make an announcement. When you refine with those things in mind, though, you're likely to have a story that is worth sharing. And we'll get to that in a moment. Stories make people feel something, but there is another step. Making sure those feelings connect directly to the outcomes your clients care about. Because a story gets attention, but the outcome, well, that's what makes them take action. So that's where we're heading in the next chapter. If this is resonating with you today, let me know in the comments. You can just say the word yes. You could say, I want the handout by just entering hashtag handout, and I'll send it to you. You can enter in hashtag live, letting me know you're watching right now live. And if you need any help with these suggestions or anything else regarding photography, well, I've got private coaching sessions that can help you choose and implement the right tools for your business. There's a lot of good tools out there, but there's only a handful of combinations that work to help you get what's right for you. You can get started with a free 15-minute session. I'll put that up on the screen again. There it is. Just watching that go by. And also, you know that I have a handout for every single one of these sessions. So just enter in hashtag handout. You can also email me, Jim@Landers. You know what? Email me at jim@portraitprofits.com. Jim@portraitprofits.com if you'd prefer to send me an email to let me know. Chapter 3. Stories make people feel something. But to move them from feeling to action, well, your audience needs to see the outcome. What happened because of the session, not just the fact that it happened. We could say that this is one of the most common shortcomings that I see photographers make when trying to make this work. They stop short, not because they know that they're doing that or because they're trying to do that. Just, you don't know what you don't know. So maybe they post a beautiful photograph with the caption, oh, loved this session. And that's fine, but it doesn't go far enough. It leaves the audience admiring your work, sure, but not connecting to it. What your clients care about most is what that image means to the people in that photograph so that they can connect with it. What changed for them because of that photograph? How did it make them feel, the people in that photograph? Where does that photograph live now? On the wall? Are they enjoying it every day? Those are the outcomes your prospects can connect to. So why do those outcomes matter? Well, when you share the outcome, you move from surface level attention to meaningful connection. Images are powerful. You know this, but outcomes are relatable. People might admire your work, but when they hear how it impacted the people in it, well, they begin to imagine what that same experience could mean for them. Outcomes communicate value without selling. And I know that you do not want to come across as salesy. I have visited with enough of you to know, and I know myself, I don't want to come across as salesy. Don't want it. Instead of, you need professional portraits, you're showing the results, the joy, the pride, the legacy. Because outcomes create desire. Seeing what others have gained helps prospects picture themselves experiencing that same thing. So we want to go from image to impact. Here's the difference outcomes make. Here's an image-only post. Here's one of my favorite sessions from last week. I mean, that's good. You're posting an image. You're sharing that it's one of your favorites. It's great. Except we want an outcome-driven post. So how about this post instead? You know what? This family told me that it had been 10 years since they had a formal family portrait together. Now, this framed piece is displayed in their living room. And mom shared with me that her daughter points to it every morning. You tell me, which one is more likely to get someone thinking, we need to do this too? The first example gets it admired. It might get some likes. The second one, though, well, that one is remembered. It sparks action, which, well, that's what you need. Let me talk about the types of actions or types of outcomes that you can share. About emotional outcomes. You could say, she teared up when she saw the image. You might quote her. Here's how she might say it. I can't believe how good I look. Or this is the first time I've loved a photograph of myself. How about a practical outcome? Let's say you're a branding photographer. You might think, now their website reflects the confidence that they bring to their business. Or they told me they wanted their brand to look more polished, and now their headshots and team portraits show exactly that. How about a legacy type of outcome? This may be inferred by you as the photographer, or something that they may say, such as, this was Grandma's last portrait with her family. It's something they'll cherish forever. Or, this will be the last portrait we have of Grandma with the kids. Each type of outcome gives your audience a way to see themselves in the story. And of course, you're gearing that to your ideal client. So I gave you examples that you wouldn't use all of because they're different types. You would gear it to who you want to attract. You do want to share these outcomes with care. You don't need to overshare or reveal any private details. The focus is not the backstory, it's the impact. Keep it simple, respectful, and client-centered. It could be, it could start off like they told me and then tell that story, or they said and tell that story, or they now have and tell that story. This language is powerful because it keeps the attention of the client while showing how your work made a difference in their lives. You could do a quick self check before you hit publish by asking yourself, does this post show what the client gained? You could also ask, will someone reading this be able to imagine themselves experiencing this outcome? Or am I showing the impact instead of just the image? If you can say yes to those, you're creating posts that go beyond being seen. They are being felt, remembered, and hopefully acted on. So far, we've talked about the difference between attention and connection, and how stories and outcomes can make your posts resonate on a deeper level. But there's one piece of the puzzle, your voice, that I want to talk about, because your photographs matter, but your words, well, they reveal the person behind the camera. So that's what we'll cover next. By the way, if this is helping, will you go to the comments section and tell me this is helping? Let me know. And if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live. And if you want the handout for today, enter in hashtag handout. Moving on to chapter 4. Let your personality speak. You are a storyteller. Your photographs tell powerful stories, but your words matter too. When someone reads your captions, your comments, or your short phrases that you add to your stories, they're not just looking for information. They're given the opportunity to listen for you, the real you. They want to know what it feels like to work with you, not just what it looks like. So let's talk about why your voice matters. Clients hire people, not portfolios. A technically excellent photographer who sounds stiff or distant is likely to lose clients to someone with less polish, but more warmth and relatability. Your words show your values. How you describe your sessions, your clients, and even yourself communicates what matters to you. And when you're able to convey that message, well, it's going to attract the clients who share those values. And you want that. Connection starts with trust. A caption written in a warm, conversational tone, well, it feels approachable. A generic or formal caption may feel more transactional. Let me give you some examples of a tone in action. And let me contrast it. Let me give you a generic caption first. I enjoyed this session. Contact me to book yours. Now that's good. Now let me give you a personality-driven caption. This little guy showed up with his pockets full of cars, little toy cars, and insisted that they join us in the family portrait. His parents laughed the whole time, and now they've got an image that captures their son exactly how he is right now. Both of those posts share the same photograph, but the second one, that's going to give potential clients a glimpse of what it's like to work with you. You hearing this? You like this? Let me know in the comments. Say this is helping, or just the word yes. Let's talk about how to find your voice. I want you to write the way you talk to your clients. Purposefully. Think about it. Choose a consistent tone that feels natural to you. So maybe that's warm and encouraging. Maybe that's thoughtful and reflective. Maybe it's light and playful. Whatever it is, choose a consistent tone. Focus on the client's perspective. Talk about their experience. You may talk about your process, but make sure you're talking about their experience. For those that have been with me for a while, you've already done part of this when you created your compelling description, which is one of the 5 workspace statements. That statement isn't just a business exercise, it's the blueprint for how you talk about yourself everywhere, your social posts, your marketing, your ads, your presentations, whatever. It's when your captions and posts reflect the same tone, the same values, the same emotions as your compelling description, then your message will come across consistently, and consistency builds trust. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Connect to your compelling description. Your compelling description isn't just a statement that you wrote once and forgot about. It's a guide for how you communicate in every form of communication that you engage in. It gives you the voice your clients should recognize everywhere that they happen to encounter you, whether that's in social media posts, your website, any type of marketing, over the phone, just hearing your voice. In every case, compare what you're doing with your compelling description. Now, just a reminder, your 5 workspace statements, I call them that because they need to be right there in your workspace. So you're constantly being influenced by them. So compare this with your compelling description. Does it sound like the same person that you've described yourself as? Does it carry the same values, tone, emotion? If so, well, then you're creating consistency across your brand. Consistency is what makes your message stronger, makes it more memorable, and it helps prospects and clients connect the dots between internal business clarity and external communication. Let's talk about building trust through personality. I want you to think of your captions, the posts, the words that go with your images. I want you to think of those captions as a bridge. They take people from admiring your photographs to trusting you as the right photographer for them. When a client feels they already know you from your posts, they leap from seeing your stuff online to booking easily. That leap from seeing your stuff online to booking becomes much smaller. Let's do a quick self-check before you post. Ask yourself, does this sound like me? Does it give someone a sense of what it will feel like to work with me? Would I enjoy reading this if I were in their shoes? If so, you're not just posting photographs. You're creating connection to your personality. Now that's what you want. We've covered storytelling, outcomes, and now personality. Let's take that one step further. How do you create posts that people want to share with others? I mean, click that share button if you're on Facebook. Click that save button if you're on Instagram. That's what we'll cover next. By the way, go to the comments section and tell me something that you resonate with. One takeaway that you've gotten from the show so far. There's only 2 more chapters left. Chapter 5. We've talked about creating posts that tell stories, that highlight outcomes, that show your personality. Those are ingredients that make your content felt, which is the subject of this lesson. But let's take that a step further. Consider this next part bonus information: how to spread your reach beyond your current audience by making your posts share worthy or save worthy if you're on Instagram. So on Instagram, saves, it's just that word save. It's a signal that a post is valuable. On Facebook, share that puts your work into someone else's network with the weight of their personal recommendation. Both actions extend your reach and give your message a little bit longer life before it fades away, because it does fade away. For photographers, posts become share-worthy when they are useful, relatable, or meaningful. I guess I should share why this even matters. I think in what I've shared so far, you probably do see it, but just in case. In Facebook, shares multiply your visibility. When someone shares your post, they're introducing you to people who may never have seen you otherwise. On Instagram, saves extends your lifespan. A saved post gets revisited later, well after most content has faded away. Both build authority. If people think your content is worth saving or sharing, it positions you as someone worth listening to, worth paying attention to. There are at least 3 different types of share-worthy posts. One is useful. I'll give you an example. Maybe you've written something called 5 posing prompts to help kids relax during a family portrait session. Why would that work? Well, because it's practical and it feels worth saving for later so that they can look back on it. The second one would be relatable. Back to that example of the toddler meltdown that became mom and dad's favorite image from the session. Why that might work? Parents recognize themselves and share and want to share it with friends who will laugh or nod in agreement. The third one would be a meaningful post. Example, this was the last time grandma was photographed with her family. Why that works? Well, it's touching the heart, touching emotions. Let's talk about professional and share-worthy, making sure that we're doing both. Being share-worthy doesn't mean gimmicky. For portrait photographers, the most share-worthy content usually comes from authentic stories or practical tips and meaningful outcomes. A helpful tip gets saved. Something fun or funny gets shared. A heartfelt story gets remembered. So before you post, ask, would my ideal client want to save or share this? Would they feel comfortable sharing this with someone that they care about? Does this add value beyond simply showing off my work? You want those answers to be yes. That's when you know that you've created a share-worthy post, one that extends your reach, one that strengthens your connection with the right people. Who are the right people? Your ideal clients. So we've now covered stories, outcomes, personality, and now a share-worthy post or share-worthy content. Next, we'll look at how to make your posts not only seen and shared, but also engaging. This is how to invite interaction in a way that feels natural and genuine. So now we're moving into the final chapter of this lesson. You've created posts that tell stories, highlight outcomes, reflect your personality, that are worth sharing. But there's one more step. And this is inviting engagement, or as I often state it, a CTA, call to action. Because this engagement is what keeps your content alive. And a like, a comment, or a comment or a share, that tells the algorithm that your post is worth showing to more people. More importantly, it tells you that your audience is listening. But here's the challenge. Many photographers feel awkward about asking for some type of interaction. They don't want to sound needy, salesy, fake. The solution is simple, though. Ask for engagement in a way that feels genuine, that feels client-focused, and heart-driven. Now, I think you know why engagement matters, but let's talk about it. Algorithms reward engagement. More comments and likes, more visibility, especially when it happens right at first, within the first 10, 20 minutes or so. That engagement is building connection. A comment isn't just a metric, it's a start of a conversation. It's lowering the barrier. If someone's comfortable leaving a quick comment, they'll be more comfortable reaching out later for a session. Of course, you want to engage with your heart, how to ask about, well, you ask simple, authentic questions that make your audience feel included, not pressured. Instead of, what's your biggest challenge with family portraits? Because that's too big. It's too heavy. Try, which part of a family session do you love most? The planning, the session itself, the moment you see the preview images, or the moment you receive the finished images? Which part of the entire family portrait process do you love most? Instead of, book a mini session with me, it's too direct. It feels like selling. Try, which of these setups would you love to see in a mini session? Cozy holiday, modern studio, or outdoor golden light? These small, approachable prompts, that's what's going to invite participation and give your audience the chance to see themselves in your work. There's at least 3 different types of engagement posts that work, so let me share those with you. The first is preference questions. Something could be as simple as black and white or color. Which one speaks to you more? A second one would be relatable prompts. Parents who, it's directed to the parents. Parents, who has ever had a toddler meltdown in the middle of family portraits? Relatable prompts. And the third one is future planning input. So you could say, you know what, I'm planning next year's next year's mini sessions. Which theme would you love the most? And you could list the ones you're thinking about. Each one of these is light, it's specific, and it makes your audience feel like their voice actually matters. So before you post, ask yourself, am I asking something my audience can answer quickly? Does it feel natural, like a conversation should? You should ask, will their answer help me understand them better? Because if it's yes, if you're answering each of these questions yes, you're not just chasing engagement numbers, you're starting genuine conversations, and that builds trust. If you haven't already, let me know you're watching live by entering in #live. If you'd like today's handout, enter in #handout, letting me know that you would like today's handout. By the way, I send it to you. I charge $10 for the handout, but I send it to you without any charge at all. You decide if it's worth it. And if it is, great. Pay the $10. If it's not, great. You haven't lost anything. Enter in #handout if you'd like today's handout. By the way, if you'd like handouts from previous shows, this is episode number 235. So there's quite a few handouts that you might want. Just go to that page and enter in #handout. If it's today's, that works. If it's one from the past, also enter in #Jim Landers. That way I actually will see it. Because if it's in the past, I might miss it. So, in fact, maybe it's easier just to send, in that instance, send an email to me, jim@portraitprofits.com, jim@portraitprofits.com. Let's close out this session. Before I share with you, and after this, I'm going to share with you the upcoming shows and some announcements that I have as well. Closing thoughts. Attention is temporary. connection is lasting. And that's the heart of what we've been talking about in this lesson. Prospects don't book photographers simply because they saw their work. Prospects book because they felt something when they encountered your work, when they encountered your post. That feeling, whether it's joy or pride, nostalgia, relief, whatever it was, it's what turns visibility into trust and trust into action. We've walked through 6 ways to design posts that go beyond being seen. Let's go over those real quick one last time. The first, shifting from attention to connection. The second, using storytelling to spark emotion. Number 3, showing outcomes, not just images. Number 4 of 6, letting your personality come through in your words. Number 5, creating share-worthy posts that spread your reach. And number 6, inviting engagement with heart so clients feel included in the conversation. Together, these 6 steps help you create content that's remembered, saved, and shared, and acted on. And here's the part I don't want you to miss. You don't have to have all 6 in every post. I mean, that might be overwhelming for you and your audience. Instead, think of these as tools. Pick 1 or 2 for each post, depending on what you want that post to accomplish. Define what you want it to do. Just like driving, when you go somewhere, you've defined where you're going. You've defined when you want to be there. You've defined why you're doing it. Same thing with your posts. Define what you want your post to do for you. And over time, this will become second nature. While these tools assist in keeping your content seen, this is much more about building connection with the people you want to serve, your ideal client. When your posts are felt, not just seen, you're no longer chasing attention, you're building relationships. And those relationships, well, that's what turns prospects into clients and clients into advocates for your business, for your brand. So if you need help with any of these suggestions, well, I'm your guide on the business side. I've got private coaching sessions that can help you choose and implement the right tools for your business. There's a lot of good tools out there, but you need to know which ones are the right ones. Just like a road, you could spend all day driving the wrong way on the right road, but you can also spend an entire career on a series of good roads, but that don't take you to where you want to go. And because you haven't defined where you want to go, you're not even aware that all that effort, that blood, sweat, and tears didn't even have the potential to get you where you wanted to go. So get started with me. Get a free 15-minute session. I'll put that up on the screen one more time. I think. Well, I guess it's further back in this. Oh, that's the handout. There it is. Landers Photography School, free business assessment. There's the address. Just write that down and reach out to me. Calendly.com/photoschool/15min for a free 15-minute talking session with me. Now, I've got some announcements I want to share with you before I share with you the all of the Portrait Profit shows for this month of September. The first thing I want to mention to you is an event that's happening, and I'll put this up on the screen. You know what? That's small. Let me bring that a little bit bigger. There we go. A trade-in event at Digital Pro Lab And this is going to be done with KEH. KEH is actually sending representatives over to Digital Pro Lab at the end of October. So that's October 24th and 25th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. So put this on your calendar, get your used gear together. You can bring it in. They'll make an offer for it right then and there. And by the way, KEH does make good offers. So take advantage of it. Put it on your calendar. Go to Digital Pro Lab on October 24th or 25th. You can either they can pay you for your equipment, or you can get a credit to Digital Pro Lab. Plus, they actually give you a bonus of 10% if you do it that way. So, trade in and buying event October 24th and 25th. That's at Digital Pro Lab. All right. I want to encourage you to take a look at the career photographer program if you have an interest in making photography a real career. If you've been having some difficulty making that happen, well, this might be the thing that makes the difference. Just use your phone and use your phone app and use the camera app and photograph that QR code, and that will take you to a handout that shows you more about the program. But this is for photographers, portrait photographers especially, but it's event photographers too, like wedding photographers, who want to build a highly profitable, low volume business so that they can make a bigger impact in their life, for their community, for their families, increasing time they get to spend with their family, and more free time for themselves, all with an increase in income. So take advantage of that. You can reach out to me the same way with the Calendly link, and we can talk about it at that time as well if you'd like. Now, as you know, you know what? For those of you who are interested in the business side, I am teaching a class, an all-day class. It's a merit class if you're part of PPA. So most of the classes that I teach aren't merit classes for PPA, but this one happens to be. So this coming Sunday, all day Sunday, I'm going to be teaching a class on the business side, but it's talking about how to fuel your passion. I'm going to be doing a shorter version of this at the Professional Photographers of San Antonio meeting this month. But the long version is this coming Sunday. It's going to be at the Camera Exchange. And for those of you that are in PPA, Professional Photographers of America, this is a merit class. So you can get a merit for attending this class. Reach out to me, Jim, at portraitprofits.com, and I'll send you the information directly, or enter hashtag fuel your creative fire. Fuel your creative fire. You could just enter in hashtag fuel and I'll notice it. Now, as you know, the Portrait Profit Show is something that happens every single Monday. So let me tell you about the upcoming shows. In 1 week from today, we're going to do something that we do on the second Monday of every single month, and that is have a panel. We're going to bring on some photographers to talk about the things that are important in their business, that are causing them to feel and be successful. So they're going to be talking about the important stuff to them. That's 1 week from today. And we move that time when we do the panels from noon to 6:30 in the evening, just because it's a little bit easier to get panelists. It's still not easy to get panelists, but it's easier to get them at 6:30 in the evening than it is at noon during the middle of the day. So that's 1 week from today, September 8th. And I suppose I should put that text on the screen as well. September 8th at 6:30 for a panel discussion. 1 week after that, back to the regularly scheduled time, your income goal as a step-by-step action plan. You'll discover how quickly a big income goal can shift from feeling out of reach to feeling like a clear, doable plan that that you're excited to act on because you know where it's taking you. We'll take a real number, whatever that a dollar amount is that you want to make next year, and turn it into an exact client count, a realistic price point, and a short list of repeatable weekly actions that you can use right away. This focused step-by-step process plugs directly into the bigger strategies that we've covered before here on the Portrait Profit Show. But this one, you get the concentrated version so that you can start seeing that progress that you want right now. So that is September 15th at noon, your income goal as a step-by-step action plan. 1 week after that, on September 22nd, this one's interesting, $400,000 productivity secret. What if I told you that one idea made a steel industry titan so productive that he sent a consultant a check worth over $400,000 in today's dollars? At this episode, I'm going to uncover that secret, and I'm going to adapt it so that you can use it to grow your photography business with clarity, focus, and speed. September 22nd at noon, the $400,000 productivity secret. And to round out the month of March, excuse me, I don't know why I said March. To round out the month of September, September 29th at noon, 10 steps to an effective promotion. Running an effective promotional campaign feels more like waking up from a fantastic nap than a roller coaster that makes you feel a bit queasy. That's what most photographers experience after running a promotional campaign, is a roller coaster that makes them feel a bit queasy. But I'm going to share with you how to make it feel like a fantastic nap. We're going to turn that wild ride into a scenic tour by train that'll have your business going smoothly down the track. This is in preparation for your fall promotions, so that you're making sure you've got each of the steps covered to increase your reach, to increase your sales. Make sure to add these lessons to your calendar right now before you forget. You're busy. You've got a million things going on in your life. Add these to your calendar. It's every single Monday, so not too difficult to remember. Every single Monday at noon, with the exception of the second Monday of each month, where we do move it to 6:30 in the evening. I want to thank you for being with me here today, Lens Legends. By the way, Lens Legends is just what I call you guys. You are Lens Legends, not just to me, but with a period at the end of that sentence. What we've talked about in this lesson is about creating content with purpose. Posts that your prospects don't scroll past, but actually stop and feel. When you tell stories and show outcomes, when you let your personality shine and create share-worthy posts that invite engagement with your heart, you're not just marketing, you're building trust. And trust is what turns followers into clients. So as you create your next post, don't ask yourself, will this get any likes? Instead ask, will my clients feel this? If the answer is yes, well, you are on the right path. Keep showing up with clarity. Keep sharing with heart. And keep creating posts that matter, because your work deserves to be seen. And more importantly, your work deserves to be felt. And you know it. for Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab. I'm Jim Landers, the host of the Portrait Profit Show, where we spark passion and build thriving photography businesses. So until next week, Lens Legends, keep creating those powerful connections that change lives, yours and your clients. I believe in you, and I look forward to watching you grow. You are fantastic. You are amazing. Bye for now.